Look. 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 I got the Brett Favre jersey. The Brett Favre jersey. The classic, the original Brett Favre jersey. I found it. Anyway, I'm wearing this. This is my wardrobe for my little movie. This is my wardrobe. The Brett Favre jersey. Brett Favre is joining the Minnesota Vikings. He says to stick it to his old team, the Packers, because they didn't want him anymore. He said he wanted to retire, and all of a sudden he wants to come back. They put everything in motion to get him going on, send him on about his way, and then he decides he wants to come back. Okay, went through the whole dispute last year. He ends up going to the Jets, New York Jets, and he was lighting it up for a second. He was lighting it up for a second until he got hurt, and they started screwing up. I think that's 4 of the last 5 games. They could have made the playoffs, but things went south real quickly. And one thing Minnesota fails to realize is that they're not getting the old Brett Favre, the classic Brett Favre. They're getting the old Brett Favre, like the old fart Brett Favre, you know, who really needs to quit, just like classic boxers, Muhammad Ali. He stayed in the ring a little too long. Who else? You know, a lot of old boxers. They stayed in the ring too long. They should have left, and they had to get that last fight, that last payday, and tarnish their image. Who was that? Evander Holyfield. He stayed a little too long. Larry Holmes trying to make. Okay, I'm starting to talk about boxing. I want to talk about Brett Favre. So anyway, today, the deal is all but done. He's coming back to Minnesota. He's coming to Minnesota in the same conference as this former Packers was. Supposedly he's going to stick it to the Packers. Personally, if I was the Packers, I could care less. Bring your old ass on. Get stomped and get embarrassed. You got a lot of weapons around. Hopefully those weapons are good, because if it's going to rely strictly on Brett Favre's abilities, and you screwed. You suck. Shoot, he plays this little ploy. This is what I really want to get to. He played this little ploy. He's joining the Vikings today. What is this, August the 18th? August the 18th. It's all but a done deal, right? So he missed a good chunk of training camp. The season's going to start in, what, 2 weeks? He missed a good chunk of training camp, but he's just a perennial professional. All that whole bond and getting used to his new players, he's missing out on that. But he doesn't really like doing the training camps anyway. He's an old fart. He hates cold weather. You know, he gets really bad. He starts sucking really bad in the cold weather. That's one of the reasons why he was getting really bad in Green Bay, because it's not sunny Florida. So to alleviate all of that, he's going to Minnesota. You got the Dome. Now, woe is him when he has to go to these cold weather cities. So, these people talking about, oh, Brett Favre's going there, the Minnesota Vikings might go to the Super Bowl. Nah, Brett Favre's going to get hurt. He's an old fart. He had a good steady record, say, back in the 90s, so on and so forth. But the last, say, what, 4 or 5 years, he's been sucking. He's been sucking. So anyway, he really needed to stay retired, but he wanted that $10 million. And he could be a commentator in the NFL Network. One of these other Fox would pick him up for their NFL show, or CBS. He could be an analyst, a sportscaster. He could be one of them, but who's going to pay him $10 million? Who other than Minnesota Vikings, who really doesn't have a quarterback? So anyway, this was all a ploy anyway. This was all a ploy anyway. He was going to come back. He knew he was going to come back. I'm sure Vikings management knew that he was going to come back. And if he can do it, he'll probably come back next year to get another big payday. Anyway, I'm not impressed. I could care less. Let him come back. Let him do his thing. He'll be good at first, but towards the end of the season, he'll start sucking again. Typical Brett Favre is going to start sucking again. And Green Bay is going to pat themselves on the back. Ooh, we glad we got rid of that pain in the ass. Anyway, I still like the guy. I bought the jersey.